Yeah, well, Gogos. Well, there we are again. Time to work through the Bible with Laat My Lammers Way as a guideline. And we have been running through all the kings of Israel. Not most, but many of them bad kings who, would just run after idols and forget about God, who put them there in the first place. That's why they were there. God put them there as kings. And what did they do? Mostly not the right thing. And of course, when the king diverts from God, then the people go with him. So then God would, and he warned the Israelites through his prophets that he will punish them. And now it has happened. Judah was taken away to Babylon in exile. And the king took out his eyes, and then they took all the people with him, except for all the, let's say, the poor people and the people with ill people, and, the bad stuff was left behind, the chaff. And the good people were taken, young people, young men, young girls were taken into exile. So now we're going to read about Judah in exile and how it's going there. They live in this foreign land, and there were brave men who lived there. Some of the young people, boys really, they took and who made themselves available on behalf of God. They stood with their belief in the living God and did not fall for all the tricks and stuff that was shown to them and given to them, so that they would fall into the Babylonian culture, way of eating, way of living, way of dressing, and so on. And of course, we are talking about Daniel. Now I lost his name. Of course, we're talking about Daniel and his brave friends. And so it was Daniel and his friends and Ezekiel, the prophet. Those people stayed faithful to God. So the people of Judah were taken to the city of Babylon. And although they were prisoners, they were allowed to build their own houses and do trading and live normal lives. But some of them were misused. But they were sad and they struggled because they, of course, missed Jerusalem. And now suddenly, because they are away from the temple, they missed the temple. So during this time, God sent the prophet Ezekiel to comfort them, and Ezekiel saw this amazing vision of God's glory to show the people that God was with him, even in Babylon, just as in Jerusalem. So Daniel and his friends were part of the king, Nebuchadnezzar's palace. He chose the smart and healthy young people to go and work for him in the palace. And so Daniel and his three friends, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, they were also known by other names, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So the king wanted them to eat his food and drink his wine and dress in their clothes, and all these things were offered to the idols. But Daniel bravely refused and asked for only vegetables and water. That was what he wanted to do to prove and to show that they are different, that they don't belong to the system. So although they didn't want to do this or allow this, Daniel said to them, I will prove to you that after a while, we will look better, because the king wanted healthy people. So after about 10 days, Daniel and his friends looked healthier and stronger than all the other young men who ate all this rich food and drank the wine and so on. And God gave them wisdom, great wisdom, so that Daniel could even understand dreams. So, one night, Nebuchadnezzar had a scary dream about a giant statue made of different metals. The head was of gold, the chest of silver, the belly was made of bronze, and the legs of iron, and the feet of iron and clay. And all this spoke about, it told the story of the nations of the time. The Babylonians, and after them the Medes and Persians, and after them the Greeks, and after them the Romans. We know that Jesus was born in the time of the Romans. And so then, according to this dream, the big statue with all these different metals was smashed by a stone that came rolling down the mountain. And Daniel explained to the king that the stone is the kingdom of God, and that all these other metals, the statue with all the metals was all the other nations. All the nations would fall down, but God's kingdom would be forever. That's the stone. Well, the king built this giant gold statue and ordered everyone to bow down in front of it, and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and Daniel, of course, refused to do that. The king was so furious that he threw them into a burning furnace, or a blazing hot furnace. But when he looked inside, he looked inside this furnace, he saw 4 men walking around unharmed. And the 4th man looked like, I actually have it wrong. It was only Daniel's friends, not Daniel. I think Daniel was blackmailed in a way. So the 4 of them was not Daniel and his 3 friends. The 4th man looked like the Son of God, referring to Jesus. And when they came out, they did not die in the furnace. The king praised God who saved his servants. So all this time, Daniel and his friends worked in the palace, but they always stayed firm in their belief in God. Many years later, a new king came into, became king, and he named Belshazzar, or his name was Belshazzar. And then he held a party using holy gold cups that he stole from God's temple. Suddenly, a human hand appeared and wrote words on the wall. The king was, of course, terrified because this big hand was writing on the wall. Daniel came and read the message. God had weighed the king's heart and found him wanting. That very night, the enemy army, the Medes and the Persians, took over the city, and Belshazzar was killed. The new king, Darius, liked Daniel, but other leaders were jealous, so the king liked him more than anybody else. They tricked the king into making a law that no one could pray to anyone and bow down but to the king. But Daniel, of course, continued to pray to God 3 times a day, he went to his window in his room, bow down, looking in the direction of Jerusalem, and pray. And because he did not bow down to the king's, in front of the king's statue, he was punished. How? They threw him into a den of lions as punishment. The king was very sad, but he had to do that. The next morning when he went back, he saw that Daniel was still alive. And he said to the king, "My God sent his angel to shut the lions' mouths." The king was overjoyed, of course, and commanded everyone to respect Daniel's God. Isn't that wonderful? So their whole life, the way that they operated, the way that they carried themselves, prove that they were faithful to God. And they did not fall for anything. They did not bow in front of anybody. And they were actually very useful. And the king, Darius, really liked them. And he liked Daniel because of what he stood for. And then the proof was in the pudding. When he did not die in the lion's den, also the king could not help but respect Daniel's God. And he commanded that his whole nation would respect Daniel's God. Isn't that wonderful? So that's the story of Daniel and his brave friends in exile in Babylon. Judah taken away to Babylon with the prophet Ezekiel. We haven't heard much of the prophet Ezekiel, but we will still. All right, that's it for today, for tonight. You guys must sleep tight. Remember, Oupa and Oma love you too. Lekker doedoes. And God willing, see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Love you too. Ciao, ciao.